Our next guest on the programme is the renowned pianist Noriko OGAWA, equally celebrated here in her adopted country as her native Japan, where she's artistic advisor to the Kawasaki Symphony Hall in her hometown. She was in Japan when that dreadful earthquake and tsunami struck, and she's giving a special concert in aid of the British Red Cross appeal. More of that anon. She received, of course, great acclaim for her complete recordings of Debussy, among other things. Ravishing and poetic, said one critic, and that's where she begins live in the studio from Preludes Book 1, La Cathédrale Engloutie, inspired by the legend of the cathedral that sank beneath the waves because of the bad behaviour of the town of Is. Thank you. Noriko OGAWA playing live for us in the studio. That from Preludes, Book 1 by Debussy, La Cathédrale Engloutie. Very good to have you with us. I gather when you were a young person in Japan, Debussy wasn't really regarded as the top rank.
Well remembered. Yes, that's right. Yes, when I was a child, my teacher used to say that Debussy was written for... Debussy's pieces were written for pianists with rather weak fingers. Yes.
Oh, well. So what did you learn then? What was your diet?
Well, I didn't really play Debussy until I was a teenager, really, and then I always hid from my piano teacher, and then I practiced. I was a kind of secret Debussy player.
Strange, isn't it? But anyway, you've made him your own, and it's a wonderful, mysterious world. Of course, in La Cathédrale, it's the cathedral sinking below, and then coming up, all bells blazing and monks chanting, and then just disappearing again. So they are little tone poems, aren't they?
Yes, oh yes, it's very descriptive. It's like a picture. It's beautiful.
What do you see? Well, do you actually see something when you're playing, or is it still abstract for you?
It is quite abstract, but when I hear the very big chords, when I play those big chords, I can really hear the choir in my ears. Male choir, monks.
Definitely. Well, that's the power. That I tell you, it's not weak fingers you need for something like that, is it? I think
absolutely.
Your teacher obviously didn't go through the entire repertoire of them all. Rather ironically, starting to play that for the St. Mary's Cathedral, because your concert is for your home country of Japan, which has had... I don't think we can begin to comprehend what it would be like to have something like that earthquake striking us here, or the tsunami that hit your coast.
No, it's just so incredibly shocking. One has to realise, I would like to tell everybody who's listening to this evening that actually the stretch of the distance is this. It covered more than 500 kilometres, which is from London to Edinburgh. It's something like that. So
that's extraordinary. That's the whole eastern coast of England and part of Scotland.
That's right. It is whole part of one part of region in Japan. It sort of goes across about 13 different counties. And it is very difficult to understand what's happened, really. Even today, I often think that if it's a bad dream, I would like to wake up from that.
You were there when it happened?
Yes, I was.
What was that like? What was that like for you?
It was very, very different from any other earthquakes that I had before. Every Japanese person knows what earthquake is like, and we are always trained since we were children. And I was waiting for the train, and it was a horizontal shake. So I thought I was dizzy, and so many people are saying that. Oh, I thought I was dizzy, but it wasn't, and it just carried on for 1.5 minutes. But the thing is, the plates have not settled; it's still shaking. So I was talking to my mother this morning, and she said, "Oh, wait a minute, it's shaking again." So it shakes quite a few times a day, every day.
It's terrifying. It's a very extraordinary meeting of the tectonic plates under the earth. Japan is on an extraordinary fault line, really.
That's right. We have
or a danger line.
That's right, all the time. So it has to happen every now and then. And apparently, the people in northeast of Japan, they are so well trained, and they knew how to evacuate and everything. So that's probably why they managed to film all these things. They sort of predicted how many meters it was going to rise. But actually, it was about 3 times higher than they thought it was going to be. So,
well, that tsunami, I just thought that would be half of London away if it was happening here. It's a terrifying thought. You are, I know, going to be giving a concert in this place to try to help the people, because I know even though Japan are incredibly well organised, nobody can be that well organised for something like this and to be homeless. Appropriately, you're going to play some Japanese music for us next, and
that's
something
right.
You've commissioned.
Yes, Musa Kawasaki Symphony Hall, and I commissioned a composer called Kanna, and I have known him. He has known my piano playing for a long time, so I knew he was going to play something for me. And somebody came up with this idea that we should use myochin hibashi chopsticks. That this metal material is made exactly the same material as the Japanese samurai sword. and it makes beautiful, extraordinary sound. And Kano made beautiful pieces.
Well, listen, when you said chopsticks, I thought these are not chopsticks you could eat anything with, are they?
No, they are very heavy and they're very expensive. They're about a pair costs about £3,500.
Gracious.
But there's only one man who can make them in Japan at the moment.
So what's so special about them then? Is it just the temper of the steel, or what?
Yes, it is kind of steel, but it's hit so many times, and I don't really know the proportion of all this material. It's for a Japanese sword. It's an amazing sound. So.
I must say, when I thought you were going to play chopsticks on the piano, everybody around the country probably thought, well, I could do that too. I'd do that too. I'm sorry, that's a very, it's that awful tune everybody does. Everybody can do with two fingers.
I used to play that. In Japan, we don't call them chopsticks.
No, I'm sure you don't. No. What do you call it?
Stepping on a cat.
Stepping on a cat.
Yes.
All right. Oh no, Cats Protection League will be on. We don't want to encourage any of that sort of behaviour.
True.
So it's an excerpt from which piece? I know you commissioned 4 pieces from him.
That's right. A Particle of Water.
A Particle of Water. And you are playing these extraordinary metal chopsticks too.
That's right.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy the sound of it.
Yeah, I'm fascinated. Noriko OGAWA with an excerpt from A Particle of Water by Yoshihiro Kano.